Hey folks, this video is part of a series on GitHub Copilot feature highlights. To find the other videos, go to github-copilot.zebia.ms.
Hey folks, in this video I wanted to show you a little bit about the content exclusions that GitHub Copilot offers in the business or the enterprise license of GitHub Copilot. If you go into a browser as an administrator, which I am on this organization, I'm part of an enterprise here, but this is an organization, I can actually go into the settings of my organization. That's usually where you would do these kinds of things. Go to Copilot, go to content exclusion, and in here you can see that we can set up certain things, content that we want to exclude from being sent to GitHub Copilot. So in here you could go so far as say, for example, hey, whenever there's something in here that is named .n, for example, I never ever want GitHub Copilot to use the information in the environment file, send that to the SaaS service, GitHub Copilot, and then project maybe a new secret in there or help people out with, hey, this is the next thing that is in there. We don't want to send the sensitive information in the .n file, maybe your own secrets, into a SaaS service, and this is one of the ways you could configure this to prevent that from happening. So you can really go in here and be very specific to make sure that people are not accidentally sending data out to GitHub Copilot that they should not be using. Could be something simple as your local environment files that has some secrets in here. Maybe think of your app settings if you're in a C# based environment, things like that. Or you can go so far and say, hey, if people are using this against, let's do something as an example, github.com / my user handle / my blog, for example. I can configure that, hey, when people are using GitHub Copilot, that get a license from this organization or the enterprise, depending on where you configure this, but they have to get a license from here. I could, for example, say nothing in that repository should be sent into Copilot. I could even make it more specific and say nothing in the /docs folder, for example, is allowed to be sent to Copilot. I think the actual correct setup is without quotes. With this, you have the control as an administrator to configure this as specific as you want to be, and this can go pretty far. So you can allow and disallow local file paths to not be sent, for example, or you could disallow entire repositories, files in a repo, or you could even go so far and say, hey, anything within this organization should not be sent to GitHub Copilot at all. Some enterprises really have that need, and this should be a star, of course, to go so far and really be very specific of this data is very specific to us, very secretive, for example, it's our personal IP and we're not comfortable sending that to GitHub Copilot. This is one of the ways you can configure this. You can do this at the enterprise level, the organization level, and even at the repository level. And everything is hierarchical, so the more specific it will get, the more prevalent that setup will be. So you can be very stringent in how you want to configure this on all those three levels.
Visit github-copilot.zebia.ms for the other videos.